Yes, good evening, all dear students. Yesterday I explained the summary of the lesson, the hack driver. Today we are going to discuss the content explanation about the chapter, the hack driver. Dear student, through this chapter, first what we are going to know that this is the picture of narrator. You know that I have created here the picture of the narrator and a narrator who has completed his graduation. After completing his graduation, he is going to do job in a law firm, and you know that what's his work there? He was not being given that law brick task, but in place of that, he was being sent to hand over the summons to the people, so those who used to be concerned with that firm. So, what's the story? We should start through this content. Younger lawyer comes to a village to serve someone on Oliver Lutkins. Oliver Lutkins, a friendly back driver. You know that hack driver, a friendly hack driver takes him round the village in the search of Lutkins. Now we are going to research here that does he find him? Who is Lutkins? These are the two confusing questions for us through this chapter. Why is lawyer sent to New Berlin? What does he first think about the place? I told you through the summary that what is New Berlin? Where does he take him? What does he say about Lutkins? All these questions, you know that these are the questions which we will be able to know here, which we will be able to find here, and what will be the correct answer of these questions. After graduating with honors, I became a junior assistant clerk in a magnificent law firm. Dear student, magnificent. Magnificent means glorious, means a well reputed, well known firm. He began to work like an assistant clerk. I was sent not to prepare legal briefs, but to serve the summons. What is he saying? That legal briefs are written legal documents, means he was not being given that legal task, written task. In place of that, he was being handed over the task to serve the summons. So, like a chief private detective. What do you mean by detective here? Detective means, dear student, detective means the investigator. Investigator, a person who is going to start to search something. So that person is being called the investigator. Like a chief private detective, he was appointed like a chief private detective. I had to go to dirty and shadowy corners. Shadow means dim or dark places he has to visit of the city to seek out my victims. Means the narrator is saying that I have to find out the victims that where they may be, and some of the larger and more self-confident ones even beat me up. Or sometimes what happened that such victims, he was doing that dangerous task, that, and he used to be he used to be bitten by the people, bitten by the victim. Means those who used to be such criminals and other peoples, they used to beat to him. So whenever he used to go to hand over to summon to them. Some of the larger and some work and sight of the city life, it revealed to me. Means that I hated the unpleasant work. Means he was working just like assistant clerk, but he was not satisfied with the job, and more and the sight of the city life is revealed to me. I even considered feeling to my hometown where I could have been a real lawyer right away. without going through this unpleasant training period. Means he wanted to be a lawyer in his town, in his city, but here he came to get the training that how can I be a good lawyer. So, dear student, further I rejoiced one day when they sent me out 40 miles in the country to town called the New Mullen. I rejoiced. I was very happy when I knew that I am going to a town. Its name is New Mullen. So I why to serve the summons on a man called the Oliver Lutkins. I went there to serve. You know that Lutkins is means we needed this man as a witness in the law cases, and he had ignored all our letters. Cause of that, he was being sent with the summons to meet the Lutkins, and I wanted to. Means I was really very excited in the beginning, but a sweet and the simple country village were severely disappointed. Its streets were rivers of mud, means streets were full with mud, with rows of the wooden shops, either painted a sore brown or bare of any paint at all. The only agreeable slight about the place was the delivery man at the station. Suddenly he met a man whose name is head driver, and in short we can say that Bill, right? So he was about the 40 years old. This man age is about the 40 years old. 40 years old. That his age is 40 years old, and a red face. He has a red face, means a red faced man. Cheerful means happiest person. This man is happiest. Happiest. That happiest faces. He has the happiest faces here. That he is being not seen the happiest faces. How will it be seen the happiest faces? In this way, you can say that he was feeling very happy here. And think about the middle. His working clothes were dirty and well worn, and had a friendly manner. He has a friendly behavior. You felt at once that he liked the people. Means his behavior was just being seen that he used to like the people. I told him to find a man named the Oliver Lutkins. Means here, what is being explained by the narrator, that I told him that I am looking for Lutkins. Lutkins? I saw him around here about an hour ago. Hard fellow to catch though, always up to something or other. He's probably trying to start up a poker game in the back of the fit shop. I'll tell you, boy, is there any hurry about locating Lutkins? That here, that head driver, the man who is about the 40 years old and who is cheerful, he explains about the Lutkins that an hour before he watched that here he was enjoying his life. Means he is probably trying to start up a poker game. Poker game. What do you mean by poker game? Poker game means a type of card game. Whose shop? In the back of the Fitz shop. Fitz shop means he explains that here. I'll tell you, boy, is there any hurry about locating about the Lutkins? So then I asked that I will tell you that where he may be, but I am feeling that you are in hurry. So yes, I want to catch the afternoon train. Then a narrator told, you know that this is the narrator, and the narrator tells to him that yes, I need to catch the afternoon train back to the city. I was very important and secret about it. Means I don't want to. It is the confidential, and don't need to tell to anyone. So He was so open and friendly that I glowed with the warmth of his affection. Affection means narrator was very impressed with the behavior of the hack driver, and I knew, of course, that he wanted the business. Narrator also knew that this man is trying to do the business with him, but his kindness was real. But his kindness was real means he was being seen just like a kind-hearted person, and I was glad the fair money would go to this good fellow. I managed to bargain down to $2. Means I bargained down with $2 an hour. Means he said that, and means if you are going to visit with me and you are trying to pull your cart, I will have to pay $2 within an hour, right? So he also explained here, and then he brought from his house nearby a sort of large black box of wheels. He remarked, "Well, young man, here's the carriage." He said that, "Okay, young man, you can sit. This is the carriage," and and his wide smile made me into an old friend. This these villagers are so ready to help a stranger. Any village, villagers are very excited to help the strangers. In the same way, when they were in the village, everybody was very excited to help to them. He had already made it his own task to find the Oliver Lutkins for me. Narrator is telling that the hack driver was already excited to find out the Oliver Lutkins for me. He said, "I don't want to interfere, young fellow, but my guess is that you wanted to collect some money from Lutkins. He never pays anybody a cent. He still owns my 50 cents of poker games. I was fool enough to play with him." Now you know that head driver means the man who is with the narrator. He is also going to involve and telling his mind-making story that I have been also snatched by Oliver Lutkins, and you know that he has made me fool by the 50 cents. He is not really bad. He also tells that he is not really bad, but it's hard to make him part with his money. But it's hard to make him part with his money. If you try to collect from him, in those fancy clothes, he'll be suspicious and get away from you. Suspicious means you are just wearing the clothes just like a lawyer. Cause of that, it may be means sometime what is he going to tell that means it's very difficult to find that man in suspicious dress and get away from you. If you want, I'll go into Fitz and ask for him. Means I will go in Fitz's shop and I will ask him about the Lutkins by myself. I might never have found the Lutkins. I loved him for this by myself. I might never have found the Lutkins. With the bag driver, with the hack driver, so knowing how trying to help, this man was trying to help the narrator, and the narrator will be able to help me into my confidence, and told him that I wanted to serve the summons to the own Lutkins, that the man had refused to be a witness. You know that in the beginning, Lutkin said that I will be witness, but now he is going to refuse that. So, when his information would have quickly settled our case, the driver listened earnestly. Means the driver was listening these words with full concentration. At the end, he hit me on the shoulder and laughed. Well, we'll give brother Lutkins a little surprise. He said that, my brother, don't worry that we will try to give a surprise to Lutkins in with this way. Right? Let's start, driver. Most folks around Bill and hacking. Now, this man is going to explain everything. This man is trying to explain to the narrator whole the story, and you know that further. Yes, Lutkin is just as like to be a there as anywhere. Play a lot of poker. He is good at deceiving people. Means deceiving means cheating the people. He is good to cheat the people. Bill seemed to admire Lutkin's talent for dishonesty. Means the narrator is going to tell us that means that Bill was trying to appreciate the skills of Lutkins and talent of dishonesty. I felt that if he had been a policeman, he would have enough Lutkins response respectfully and jailed him with regret. Dear student, I think the point which have been explained here, you may be able to explain, and you know that the remaining part of this may be completed, and further some points should be continued. I hope that Bill let me into fits. Have you seen Oliver Lutkins around today? You know, their narrator tells us that the hack driver carried him at the shop of Fitz and asked that, have you seen the Lutkins somewhere? You know, friend of his looking for him, said the Bill cheerily. Fitz looked at me. Fitz looked at me, hiding behind. Admitted, yes, he was in here a little while ago. Guess he's gone over to Gustav's to get to see second place. That is being explained here. Right, students? Next, well, if he comes and tell him, I am looking for him. Means he's saying that if he comes, that you need to tell to him that case someone is looking for him. So how it's possible for the witness that who is not going to be ready to be the witness, and you are saying that the court is calling to you, how it's possible? We drove to Gustav's barber shop. Again Bill went in first. And I lingered at the door. He asked not only the sweet but to customers if they had been Lutkins. The sweet had not. He said angrily. What did he said angrily? I haven't seen him and don't care to. But if you find him, you can just collect that $35 he owes me. Now he is telling that I have seen Lutkins walking from the main street this side to the hotel. So, dear friends, I hope that it will be enough for today, and I think you might have taken the full enjoy here. You know, this is the narrator, and the narrator is looking for the Oliver Lutkins, and at the railway platform, he met with the Bill, and the Bill starts to help to him. In this way, the whole discussion is going on between narrator and the Bill. So, cause of that, I have created these means cartoons here. On the basis of that, you can be able to understand easily. Thank you. Please like and subscribe my channel. And if you have any doubt and confusion, please comment on this box. Thank you. Have a nice day. बात नहीं हो रही है। नाउ और शुरू हो जा रही है।